Hey, welcome everyone. This is Dads Without Friends, and I'm Michael, and it's my buddy Ben. Well, I guess we were
Hey,
buddies.
everybody.
We still are, but it's been we don't have any friends, and we could get into that.
It's hard. It's
It
hard
really
when
is.
you're a dad to
So
have
this is
friends.
our excuse to get together and to do something fun and catch up. We live 7 states away. I'm in Indiana. You're in Georgia. I don't know if I'm. Well, yeah.
I don't think it's 7, but
Thanks
it's
for
it's
correcting
it's
me.
like
It's
3,
probably
but
gonna happen
still,
a lot.
yeah. It's technically, I think it's 2. It's
A lot of my
Tennessee and
stats and
Kentucky.
figures
That's
are
all that separate us.
guesstimates. I wouldn't say they're accurate.
Yeah, you're probably not our
I don't think I'm
statistician on the
terrible,
show
but I'm
per
not
se.
like, you're not going to bet your paycheck on it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to give it a great effort. I really am.
Right. Like,
So,
okay,
so,
I
so,
like it.
so Ben, wife, 2 boys, your life has completely changed over the course of 6 years when you started having your boys, right? And I don't know about you, but for
Oh,
me, it
absolutely.
was a huge change, because, you're going to talk about that. I mean,
Well, I will be honest and say my friendship, as a guy was dwindling before I had kids as I get older, right? And I think just being
mhm.
older, it's harder to make friends. I just like fewer and fewer people. I think I'm just grown less
You're a get
tolerant
off
of
my lawn.
people's
You're going to get
shenanigans.
off my lawn kind of guy.
Like the last,
Yes.
I kind of aspired to
Same.
be a get off
Same.
my lawn guy growing
I
up,
think I didn't think I
right?
would
I
be.
kind
I think
of,
I'd be like the cool
yeah,
guy all the
I
time and
kind of
very
want to.
laid back, but I'm not.
No, it's hard to be laid back. It really is. Like some guy showed up at my house and I have a swimming pool and he showed up in the middle of July and he had a long sleeve black shirt, black jeans, and a black beanie on his head. Like I'm not laid back about that. You showed up at a pool party dressed as,
So,
some hipster
so he
doofus
wasn't
wearing all
doing like
black.
yard work or
Not
anything and
cool.
didn't want to get burnt. He was legitimately.
No. He showed up and basically his outfit said, I'm My Chemical Romance. And he thought that was fine. Like he thought as a 40-something-year-old man that I can show up to a pool party looking like I'm wearing a
Well, so
costume, right? You could
so
tell he was that insecure. A
details.
costume.
Who's this your party? Someone else's party? Okay, so what?
No, it's my party. So I threw
So it
I
needs.
threw I threw a pool party.
Okay, so who's everyone?
We
It needs to be
invited
asked why
everyone.
a hipster was at your party like this.
So, well, since I don't have any friends, my wife invited some of her friends, some of her coworkers. So this is one of her coworkers brought a husband, and this is like a play date, right? For me to meet another husband, and maybe we hit it off. And so she starts prepping me. She's like, "Oh, my friend's husband's gonna show up. Maybe you'll get along with her. He's into music."
Yes,
Like, okay,
love
I
where
like
this is
music.
going.
So yeah, it's I live in Atlanta. It is, July. It is in the 90 billion degree category,
That's the
right?
theme of the
Everyone
party.
comes over for a
Theme of the
nice
party is
swim.
pool. Like yeah.
90 billion degrees. Yeah, it's come in and get sweaty with us, right? So, yeah, dude rolls up and just like long pants, long sleeve shirt, like black
Was it
stocking
over the
cap
was
in
it over the
July.
ears or was it kind of
Like
like
he's no. It was like
so like
a skull cap, so it didn't
okay,
it didn't go over the ears, so it ended
super
like
hipster?
yeah, right above the ear, which was maybe more irritating. But it still had a little bit of shape. There was still some extra room on top,
All
right?
right.
So yeah, he shows up like everything short of the eyeliner, right? And in this garb. And like he doesn't really say anything. He seems like he's moody. I'm like, "Hey, you want to borrow some trunks?" He's like, "No." Like, and then that ends my interaction with this gentleman. I don't want to be set up on a play date. Like,
How
I
many
don't want
people?
to interact with this person. He's obviously not from
Okay, so it
here.
wasn't
There was
just
probably
like
20 people at the
you and a
party.
handful of couples. It was a lot of people.
Maybe not 20. Let me back that down. It was probably
So
12.
part
Let's
of
say
this
let's say
was the
12,
idea was
right?
to get you to meet this guy though too, or some people were excited. So you got
Yeah. There was some forethought put down and saying, hey, maybe these two people, they will be a match made in heaven and hold hands in the dark and listen
well.
to
I
The
mean,
Cure,
is it bother
perhaps.
you at all that
But
you're kind of put in the hipster category a little bit? I mean, this
me?
I didn't say
Am
you
I a
were, but
hipster?
people must think you are close to. They try to hook you up.
Oh, you
Yes,
see, to
correct.
try to pair me with this gentleman. Here's what I think. Here's
Oh,
the straight dope, as
that
the kids
is what they
say.
say too. No,
I think, yeah, I'll be. Here's a clue. The kids don't actually say
no,
straight
no.
dope. I don't think the kids actually say that. What I think happened was my wife and her enthusiasm. She
Ah,
wanted to hang out with her friend and just said, "Yeah, bring your husband, and then we'll just lunk these two people together because there's no forethought on should these gentlemen actually have anything in common." I don't know. I think it was just an excuse for them to get together
and
and then
wishful thinking, probably
bringing this
wishful
guy.
thinking.
And then I will say, maybe. And if I'm being honest, I really think they just kind of set it as a passing thing in order to give this guy like an invite. Like,
Got
oh
it.
yeah, come, you can meet this guy. Since have had this young lady back over to the house, who she's wonderful, and then husband never came in.
So
And then that's I didn't give him an invite in
it
any
wasn't it
capacity
wasn't his
either.
vibe.
I
He didn't
didn't,
vibe. He wasn't
I
his
didn't.
scene.
No, if you show up to a pool party and you don't bring a swimsuit, you got to question. You're thinking like, why are you going there in the first place? You showed up at a pool party without an intention to swim,
They're
which is kind of
you
fine,
said they're
but
married, right?
you still should.
I mean, that it's part of it's
I
on the
think
wife.
so. Yeah.
She needs to say, we're going to a pool party. What are you doing? If you don't want to swim, that's fine. Put some shorts
Oh yeah,
on,
big
maybe
time.
a short sleeve button up. You could put over a wife beater or something. I don't know. That's hipster enough.
You
Sure.
think maybe some Jenko
Well,
jeans,
yeah,
right? Like they
or
used to
take some
wear in the
jeans and
90s.
cut them up or
Listen,
something. But
I'm on
you
your
got to
side
let
on
something
this.
breathe.
I think honestly, the wife is probably just embarrassed 24/7 and just thinking, my goodness, I have this lump of a doof that I got to cart around, and was really just hoping to kind
A
of
a
pawn him off on other
a
people.
loaf. Wait, would you say a
Um,
loaf of a dump of a loaf, a lump of a
a
dude?
lump of a
Got it.
doof, right? That's an actual a scientific measurement.
Sounds
Yes,
smart. Yeah,
lump of a doof.
I don't.
You
Yeah,
know.
I'm not gonna question.
It's probably not. But and you know what? And I shouldn't belittle anyone for trying to give me a friend. I know I'm not the easiest person to get along with,
I
right? So people could be thinking, "Oh, how judgmental is this person? Like, why didn't he try to break down this barrier? Why did he let this fella's appearance like dictate his whole thing?" And it's not, again, I don't even think it's the appearance. It was really just the forethought of I'm gonna go sit outside at 100-degree heat and wearing a black beanie. Like it's a costume. He wanted to put on a costume for
I'm
me.
different than
He's like, "Look at
everyone.
me, I'm a
Yay.
costume fella."
I mean, what
Yeah, right.
did he stay in
This
inside your
reflects my
house during the
attitude
party? I
and
mean,
such. No, he was out.
yeah,
No one
okay,
was
but
inside the house. It's a pool party. Everyone sat in the sun, and he just
was he like?
baked.
Did he seem comfortable? Was he playing off like he was comfortable?
Are you kidding?
But but
How would he be comfortable? He's
but
sitting
he
like
did
in
it. It's
black
like a
clothing,
hipster
just
thing to do. If that's
roasting.
what you're gonna do, you're gonna ride it. You know.
Oh, he committed to it for at least a couple hours, and then after a while, I don't think he went inside the
Is there a
house. I
chance
just
he
think he
died?
probably
Is there a
ended up
chance he
going
died,
home.
and that's why he
Now,
didn't come back the last time?
he pro. I think he probably started to get heat exhaustion and then started to feel a bit faint and then told his wife slash girlfriend, it's been too long since I listened to really like screamo music. I'm gonna go sit in the car in the air conditioning until you're done being a normal person at a
So
pool party.
so the moral is this: so something this ridiculous really really irks you, and I'm the same way. I really am. I think you're going really deep with it. I mean, it's really funny.
I just feel like, I have a certain set of standards about who I spend time with as I age, right? It's just not, we can't just pick one thing like, oh, this guy drinks beer and that guy drinks beer. Obviously, they're best friends. Like, you know what? A lot of people drink beer. Maybe they
But
won't be
you,
best
but
friends.
you
Like,
saying that
maybe,
you don't get along well with people, that's not the Ben I know. And I know we don't see or we're not around each other all the time, and especially with kids and married and all that stuff. But like, you're still easy and very likable. You're good, easy to get along with for sure. But
thank you.
it's true.
Listen,
And
I
even
really
if you don't
appreciate
like
that.
someone,
You
you
are,
usually
you are
no. But if you don't like someone, you
handing out the
usually
compliments.
depending their intelligence level, if they're stupid, you'll kill them with like sarcastic kindness and belittle them in a way that they don't know, and it's really entertaining to me. But people that are no, not in a bad way. This
Little
is
them.
back in the day. Like make them. You weren't bad. I'm not saying it in a bad way. It was really funny.
Oh my gosh.
No.
It's coming out. I feel bad. Do I need to like call a
No.
list of people that I've belittled?
I might have used the
You know
wrong
what?
word.
I'm gonna call you out here.
I might,
Name one person I belittled.
there's no one person
Name
in
one person
particular,
I
and I
belittled.
maybe shouldn't have used the word. I might not.
I just belittled
Probably shouldn't have
everyone.
said belittle.
I
I probably
belittled
should.
everybody. I think everyone's
No,
getting a real
no,
clear picture of why I don't have any
no.
friends. I think it's very
You're
clear.
taking it wrong.
I think I'm the
I
problem
meant
here.
you were funny when somebody was ridiculous.
I think my point is I'm less
Sure, but
so. I'm less tolerant
you're
these
not
days
you're not
because I'm
outwardly
just
showing it. Like you're not yelling. No, yeah, you
no,
bottle it
no,
up. You
no. I cut
got
them
it.
off. I don't acknowledge. I
Yeah,
just
I mean
like we're not
that's
talking. Yeah, yeah. So, and the other thing is, this gentleman, as you could probably take a guess, did not have children, right? So I don't know if they were married or not, but he's
is
kidless,
she,
which I
is
also
she
think
kidless?
added to his.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't have
Okay.
kids. They're a kidless couple, which I think allows him to think that this sort of foolish behavior and dressing up in a costume to
Well,
gain
I have some
attention is
homework for
somehow
you.
okay.
Unless you know the answer, I would like you to find out if
Okay.
they're dating or indeed married. Because if there's dating, there's a good chance that party, your
Okay.
party, ended the relationship. Because that's really weird.
Probably.
Really weird. And for a girlfriend or a
Yeah.
wife, you think your wife would ever be like, what are you doing? I don't care how hips you are or not. Like, that's just not a normal
Yeah.
behavior.
Listen, I've dressed up in far less offensive outfits, and my wife has
Yes,
stopped me and said, "Are
exactly.
you gonna wear that?" And it's like I have a shirt that has a print of like it's a little print, and it's a bunch of people wearing like 3D goggles, and they're pointing. It's just and it's over and over and over. And she was like, "You can't wear that where we're going." I'm like, "What?" It's like, "No, no, no, it's not appropriate." She sets a boundary when I think
Where
I
was
have the confidence to pull
where were you
something
going?
off.
I got to know
She
what the
pulls me
boundary
right
was.
back. It was to a Thanksgiving get together with some friends.
Slightly disagree with your
She
wife,
said
but
no.
it's a battle you didn't want to have to fight, right? So you're like, okay, whatever, not a big deal.
Listen, yeah, uh, I don't think I ended up wearing it. I think I probably could have pushed it, but I'm saying she has that ability where this other
Well,
lady,
it
this
was
other
not. It
person,
was.
obviously
It
is
was not
not
existent. Not at all.
exercising that option.
And that's that's a problem.
No,
So
no,
my guess is they were dating and
that's right.
they're not very serious or they're not together anymore. If
And they're
they're
not
married,
now,
you got to
and they're
press
done.
your wife to find out what's his broad's deal. How do you let like those are legit questions to ask your wife? I think. Why did he come to
Okay,
our party
I'm gonna ask.
dressed like that? Did she even tell him it was a pool party?
Yeah,
Like,
it's.
but who still wears that out in public
I mean,
in that time frame anyway? Regardless if it's a pool party or not.
listen, we could what if this guy to death
Fight
and give
your
him all
number.
these benefits of the doubt, but at the end of the day, yeah, he could have took off the hat when he
Well,
got there, and he's like,
so
"Oh
the
God, it's a
hat's the
pool
only.
party. Maybe I should get cool. Maybe I should roll up my sleeves. Maybe I should take the host's offer up and say, "Oh, I will take a swimsuit because I obviously dressed incorrectly, even if I have the
The hat's the
gusto
only
and
thing that
vibrato
I think the hat's the only thing
to
that's
to
okay that
wear
he's wearing.
this." Are
I
you
say
kidding?
that
A
because
beanie in
it really
July
it's a
in
commitment.
Atlanta.
He's committing to that outfit. That hat is saying I'm all in. I'm all
He
in.
needs to be committed.
It is,
No,
but
it's too
he was
hot.
all in, and you need
He
to
is
figure out.
ridiculous.
He's like, I don't want to go to this stupid fucking pool party. I know. Oh yes, you are. I'm like, fuck it. I'm sweating it out, and you might have to take me to the ER. I don't know. It's just there's more to it. There's more to that story.
Yeah, again, even if that is the case, let's say that he knew and he's like, I'm gonna be defiant in my outfit. I still don't want to hang out with this guy. At the end of the day, I still
Okay.
don't want
Did you
this
talk to him
guy
at
as
all?
friend. So I tried, but again, like I offered him the suit. He said no. I think I perhaps offered him
That's
a
nice of
beverage
you.
as a host. I don't remember if he took it or not. It's been a while. But really, after this, and after he just kind of sat there and like did not make any effort to talk to anybody else, did not relinquish the costume to cool himself, I thought, nay, I won't waste
Well,
my
I
time.
think if it was a drink, you probably would know what he asked for, unless he was either no water or whatever you're drinking. You know, because if that's the kind of guy is like, do you have sparkling water? You know what I mean? Which you might
Well,
have. You might have had sparkling.
I will say there is a lot of sparkling water, so I will maybe again. I feel like we're just painting a terrible picture of me. Let's shift the focus
Well,
to you. How was your
well,
weekend? Let's talk
I
about
just found out
you
my
and
friend's
your
a
lack of
hipster,
friends for a
so
second.
a bit. No,
How?
I have my son. I have a 13-year-old, so and he plays basketball, and I'm the assistant coach. And he had 3 games yesterday, and then we went to Indianapolis
Okay.
or Westfield today for to see my family for Christmas slash Thanksgiving. Westfield's
What's Westfield? Is that
no, it's
far
like
away
it's
from
one of those burbs,
Indianapolis?
kind of like Noblesville or Brownsburg, I guess. Fort Wayne,
And you're coming
yeah.
from where?
So
Oh, okay. So those less
yeah, sorry.
proficient in Midwestern geography,
Yeah, I don't
we're
care.
talking a
No, I'm
couple
joking.
hour drive here.
Yes. So we went down there for the
Okay.
day and do a gift exchange for the kids. And my parents usually live at the lake, a little north of Fort Wayne, but they are snowbirds, so they're in Florida. They usually come up in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we get together and kind of see each other. No, this was today.
At
We
the
went to
basketball game.
Westfield, Indiana,
Okay.
yesterday.
I see. We're painting a very, you're
Well,
like
you
my
said what I'm
wife. We're
doing this
painting a
weekend.
lot of details here, and I'm fuzzy on where this
Well,
story,
you asked me what I did
where's the
this
story
weekend, and I
going?
said I had a busy one, and I was just laying out what I did. So it's been a long weekend because I also have
I
a
see.
3.5-year-old and a
Ah,
two
okay.
and a half year old or so. So, and they're
Yes.
wild girls.
Now, do you get assistance from the older one to take care of the little ones? Is he pitching in on the
No,
diaper changes,
no to
or
diapers.
is he hands off?
I think he changed one diaper early on, and it just wasn't for him. But he does help out for the most part. There's a little part of him that likes to pick at him and stuff like that. But when we ask him to watch him, so he can pick at his
Pick at the
sisters.
diapers?
Pick, you know what I mean? Like he's still
Oh,
13,
okay.
so he's gonna mess with his
He's
sisters if he can. But he does do a good job of helping out.
okay. Okay.
Sometimes you gotta like tell him 3 or 4 times, but when your boys get older, you'll get more of that too. I'm sure.
Speaking of older boys, so when your son's 13, does he still get emails from his school trying to tell you like, hey, Tuesday he has to wear funny socks, and Wednesday it's wear a backwards hat and bring a stuffed animal
Yeah,
to school
so my
day? I get a lot
wife,
of that.
I think I don't look at it enough, but she gets all that stuff. And she also is my get off the lawn kind of thing. I absolutely hate that stuff because there's like holidays for everything now. Oh, it's the 100 day of school, wear whatever you want, or we're having a party, or you're getting out at 1 o'clock. Oh, cool, because
Yes,
nobody
everything
has
is an
a
event.
job, right?
Yes.
It's really easy just to go get your kids. Super fun. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna have a 2 hour delay. Yeah, 2 hour delay. Awesome. Great.
Yeah. And my favorite is usually with my school, the information is buried in this pages and pages long email that just drones on about, kind of whatever. And then inside maybe the seventh or ninth paragraph is critical information like we're having a thing that your child is going to sing and you need to show up on Thursday.
So
And it is not clearly
you're not getting
communicated.
enough notice.
So unless perhaps I am, but they are
Got it.
burying it in a lot of fluff, right? They got to tell me the history of the school first,
Yeah,
and then
you
perhaps I get the week
give me a lead.
breakdown.
Give me
They're not
yeah.
bullet pointing the like. Here's what the dad needs to be on top of. He needs to bring socks on Wednesday. He needs to show up on Thursday for the Thanksgiving meal, and your kids are gonna sing. So show up and videotape it. I showed up to pick him up on Thursday to take him to
Nice,
karate
nice.
school, and the teacher's like, "Hey, you showed up tonight." I was like, "What's tonight?" And they said, "Oh, it's the recital. Your son's gonna sing." And I had no idea. And I was totally caught off guard. I was like, when did you communicate this? They're like, oh, it's in the weekly email. I went back, fifth paragraph. In the middle, it just says, and we're having a special surprise during family dinner. It was one sentence,
Well,
and it was not clearly
was it
communicated.
one
I was
surprise
like,
that your
who's
kids
picking
play?
up on this?
Like what was
Yeah, I didn't know. He was singing like all the kids. He's 3. All the kids got up on stage and sang what they were thankful for. Right? He had a little recital, and I had no idea. And he's not telling me. He's not coming home
so
and being
how
like,
old is
Dad, I'm practicing for
he's
this
3,
thing.
okay.
Like he's 3. He doesn't know.
So did your wife
Yeah,
isn't following it as smoothly as you are?
she's usually on top of this. This one snuck by us both
And
because there is,
and your
some
son
less than stellar
had not
communication
talked about
at
practicing
times
it
from
at
the
school or
school.
anything like that.
No, no, no. He usually talks about his best friend Pickle. His name is Peter. He calls him Pickle, and whether Pickle has bit him that day or not. And then there's kind of some lies about if the teacher hit him. He likes to say that his teacher hits him,
Nice.
which is not true. He has led me incorrectly a few times, saying, Miss Alicia hit me." I was like, "Son, is that true?" "Yep." I was like, "Is this true or did you dream this?" "I dreamt it." "Okay, okay. Perhaps your
And
teacher isn't
his
abusing you."
other brother is how old? 6. Okay.
Six.
When is
Talon is
he turn
6.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, so
In
he's
March.
3 months
Yeah.
older than Jane, than my my oldest daughter.
I don't know, but based on your state math, I'm not going to verify
No,
that unless we get into a whole calendar
we're not talking about
discussion.
little league,
And I don't
so
have a
it's
calculator handy, so I'm just going to
she
say,
was born in June, so
perhaps.
she's gonna be 4 in June. Your son's gonna be 3 or 4 in March.
Okay, we're just going to leave it at that. We're not going to do the math.
So probably
We're going to
two
skip
to
that
3
part.
months, 2.5.
Let me ask you this, Dad without a friend. What has surprised you about raising your kids? What are they doing that you thought, like, you did not occur to you that would come up? And
Okay.
I'll go first. I'll give you the example. So my whole life, I've been preparing for the kids to say
Mm-hmm.
why and have these follow-up questions. And I had my strategy going. I was like, I'm just going to go like straight dictionary definition, scientific. I'm going to give them the exact answer. Why is the sky blue? Oh, it has atmospheric conditions and this and this and that. And it has the light refracting. And I wasn't going to hold back. And I'm just going to go as deep as they want to and answer every question why. But it never came up. Do you know what I get now? What's that noise? I don't know. I don't know what you heard. What's that noise? Constantly. What's that noise? I don't know. I don't know
Both
what you're
your
hearing.
sons?
I have really horrible hearing. I listen to, no, the little one. The little one. And I literally don't know what he heard, but he will not let it go until I give him an answer. What's that noise? I don't know. Is it a leaf blower?
I mean,
I don't know. A
well,
car?
first off,
Like, is it the radio? Is it
is
the
there a
sound in his
noise
head?
though?
I have no idea. That's the
But
thing.
like,
I don't know. I
are
don't know
you
what he
with them
heard. Like, he won't.
in the room? Okay.
A lot of the times, yes, yes. And so he'll be in the back seat of the car, and he'll be like, "What's that
Street
noise?" And I
noise?
don't hear like something that identifies, say, "Oh,
This is
this is a noise that he would inquire about." It could be the road. It could be the tires
this
running along the road. It
this
could be
is
the wind. I have no idea.
this is
It could be the song on the radio. I was not prepared to to assess what he is hearing and then like work backwards to say, well, this is what he's talking about clearly. It's not necessary. It's the odd noise in the room, but it's and it's all the time. It is constantly.
So
What's that
does he
noise?
does he
I
have a
don't
pretty
know,
good?
son. I have
So you
terrible
do have
hearing.
a terrible hearing. So unless I mean, your wife obviously
Yeah.
said the same thing, or does he just ask you those questions?
I don't. I think he asked her too. That's his like go-to of just like trying to figure out more about what's going on. Like, what's that noise? What's that noise? Just
Is it?
really all the time. And it sounds really cute. As I describe it, like it sounds kind of funny and cute, and everyone's laughing. It's like, oh, that's so adorable. After the ninth, what's that noise on an hour-long car drive sitting in Atlanta traffic? You're just at your wits' end. You're like, it's traffic, and you're just making up anything. And he can tell when you get annoyed. He's like, no, that's not it. I'm like, I don't know. It's the rocks
The,
rattling around your
so
head.
if
It's
you
like I
ask him,
don't know what
you
you're
tell
hearing.
me, what does he say? He won't answer.
Oh no, he won't. He'll just say again, "What's that noise?" And it's like, "What noise?" He goes, "Yeah, what's that noise?" And I'm like, "I don't know what noise." He goes, "What noise?" And he's like, "Yeah, what's that noise?"
He's
And he
Abbott
doesn't
selling you right
understand
now.
that I
That's what
don't
he's doing.
hear. Half the time, I
Yes,
think he's kind of messing with me. But and then the other half, like he's too persistent because when I do like maybe pick up on something, I'd be like, "Wait, is it the cowbell in the radio?" And he'd be like, "Yeah," and he gets really excited. And I don't know if like he's done with the game or what, but it is just it's wearing. It's really kind
yeah,
of it just wears
I'm
on
with
you a
you.
little bit.
There's a few things for me. One that is difficult, and I hope I'm answering the question, is that Jane, my oldest girl, our bedroom set up. We have 3 bedrooms, and one of the rooms they didn't do well in their cribs, so we got them in beds. So they each have fulls, and the room's not very big,
Yeah.
so we push these fulls together. So it's like one yeah,
Fools, they
full
have
size bed. Sorry,
full
full
size
size.
beds, you're saying.
And so we lay with them, we take
Okay.
turns, but when it's my turn, Jane, my oldest daughter, like cries sometimes and says, I want mommy. And it's literally 1,000 times in a matter of 5 minutes. And Frank, her little sister, is like,
Yes.
peace out, I'm rolling over and going to bed. She's super chill there, right? But then you just gotta listen. Yeah, it's awesome. She can sleep
That's pretty
and
amazing.
go to sleep through that, which is incredible. But so I just
Very
frustrations
nice.
with her, and I can't. I feel like I can figure people out and figure most things out. My own daughter, like you think like I can figure something out. I can't. You can't win. It's sometimes the most frustrating thing is that you are helpless, and that is something I'm not okay with. I don't like being helpless, right? I no.
Yeah, there's no logic. Like they don't. It's like the dog won't read me a story. I'm really mad.
Yes,
Like there's no like logic, and they won't bend to reason about like your mother's not here.
especially
That doesn't
the
matter.
Frankie, the younger one. She's stubborn as a mule, and she sometimes will just cry and whine, and she just won't tell you what's wrong. And it's like, just spit it out. Just tell me what is wrong. And when they get sick and all that stuff, it's just miserable. I think last week, I cleaned their sheets 3 times in 3 days because they were puking. It's fun, yeah. Something
Oh,
something rolled
that sounds like
something rolled through, and
lovely chore.
it's awful. Well, yeah, so that just bothers me is that I can't figure them out sometimes, and as much work it is and patience you have to have, and I need to be better at it. That's what everyone. That's why
Patience.
my uncle tells me
Yeah.
his brother just died. I called him and said, "Hey, sorry I can't make the funeral, but I love you and all that." Talking about the kids, he's like, "One thing I can tell you, they're gonna grow up before you know it, and just be patient." And I'm not that patient, and maybe I'm better, but
Yeah, you know who I hear that from?
yes,
People who've already
yes,
raised their kids like, decades ago. You know who I don't hear that from?
yes.
Other people with little kids. No one is like, "Oh, you should be more patient." Because yeah, it's one of those armchair quarterback situations. It's like, "Oh, congratulations. You can tell me to be patient with a child." Yeah, thanks. Do your daughters get along? Do they
I mean, I think
are they fighting? Are they? I mean, if one can sleep through
yeah,
a tantrum, that's pretty
yeah,
outstanding.
they get along pretty well. I mean, your typical, I would say it's 60-40, right? 60% of the time, they're great. Maybe it's higher. But then there's other times where Frank will just lay on top of Jane and Jane will cry and Frank's just like a meathead. She doesn't get hurt. And then Frank,
Yeah.
thinks every toy she wants at that moment is hers. And so she's 2.5, almost two and a
Oh
half, and
yeah.
she just tries to take it. We're like, you can't. And then she cries and yeah. But like putting him in timeout, and like sometimes it doesn't work, and it's like, what do you do? You're like, I can't shake you, like I just can't, and it's just like,
Oh yeah.
well, we're gonna go to bed, and Yeah.
Sometimes they're ruthless. My oldest one is like, take away
Yeah.
phone time, take away the TV time. I don't care. Like, it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And it's getting worse. So they used to get along great, right? But now that the young one's a little older, they're starting fighting. They're starting pushing, right? And they flop like it's the NBA. Like I'm the ref. They're like, oh, they're like, did you see that? They're like, oh my God, like he just threw me to the ground. Starts like fake
I'm,
crying,
I'm
and
sorry.
it's like,
Your
are you really
son
hurt?
sounds like
No.
Jerry Seinfeld.
It's like
I mean, that was.
that, that was my impression of an
Oh,
NBA
gotcha.
person yelling at the ref to get his attention. Of I've just
Are you
flopped.
kidding me?
No grapes, no nuts.
Oh, that's great. I say Ovaltine. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And then, man, and they don't care if you want to like have some drinks either. And that's the tough part because they're always up at 6 a.m. no matter what. Right?
Oh yeah, they're not cool with you being hungover. They won't be like,
No,
oh, he had a late
we're gonna
night.
make
I'm gonna
we're gonna make
snooze for
everything
him.
worse today.
There's none of
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, they can tell. They have a sixth sense about when you are at your weakest, and I think that's when they're like
Well,
waiting to
are you?
prey on that weakness. But you know how I get it back? I eat their Halloween candy. I'm still eating it.
Yeah.
It's on top of the fridge.
The
They
good
don't
the
see it. They
good
don't
news
know about
we're
it.
ultimately
And I'm eating their
smarter than
Halloween
them.
candy still.
They just have some tricks we're not.
It's getting
They have
close.
some.
The older one's catching up. He
Yeah,
knows
but
more
they know
state
more
capitals than I
tricks
do.
like that we're not used to yet. But like we're overall smarter. Like you're still eating the candy. They think the candy's gone, right? So you have some upper hands, and you're taller, so you just put it high up.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the candy eating's out of spite at this point. Like, I don't even really like the candy. I just do it because I know that should they find out,
Got
it
it.
would spurn them, and that
It's kind of like
that that
doesn't
keeps me
Jimmy
going.
Kimmel do that bit where you pull your kids aside the next day after Halloween and you have them film it, and you show the bucket, you turn it over and it's empty. You tell them you sorry, but you ate all their candy, and see and you film their reaction. There's like eight.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Yes,
It
so it's
sounds
online.
cruel and
They've
delightful.
done like 10 years of it. It's pretty funny stuff. Yeah,
That sounds all
and
right. I
especially
think
if
I'd
your
like
kids are
that.
animated, like it'd be a good joke for sure.
My kids are real.
No,
They're not animated. They're not like Disney characters.
I didn't mean that kind of animated. You know,
I don't know why you think they're
you know
animated.
what's crazy? What I was gonna say. You know
You
what's
know what?
crazy about no
What are you gonna say about Disney? About how they kill everyone's parents in the
how they
beginning
what you
5 minutes of a
froze. Sorry,
Disney movie? Did
you're still frozen.
you ever watch a
Am
Disney
I
movie?
frozen? You
Every
just
time in the
froze.
first 5 minutes, their
I didn't
parents are
hear a
dead.
word you said. What were you saying?
You were a little frozen. You're frozen, like the Disney show. Which again, the parents die at the beginning,
Yeah, they did.
probably. I don't know if I've seen that
The
one.
parents did. Yeah. You
Okay.
you
Yeah, it's a Disney movie. They kill parents to keep them in line, to keep, I don't know what nefarious purpose, but to keep these kids emotionally unstable and to keep coming back for Disney to where they find the
Yeah, man.
comfort.
I think the funniest part is
Evil.
seeing bits and pieces of your personality in your children. Like I'm guessing your boys they're the same, but they also have some different traits, right? And so like one of your boys is probably like you in this way,
Yes.
and another boy is like you in this way. They're different, right?
They, yes, they're both undeniably like my children, like in looks and actions, but they're both very
But they have
different.
part
They're
of you
like
though, right?
two both yeah, they're both
Okay,
versions of me that are just opposite. They pull out
I'm guessing your
different
oldest
pieces
is
of me.
sarcastic like you,
Yeah.
or has your wit. Has your wit.
He is
Okay,
he's got the sass. He does have a sense of humor. He
nice,
has incredible
and that's
timing.
you.
And it showed up. It showed up when he was about 1.5. My wife's holding him, and he's gently caressing her face and like cooing at her. And she's like, "Oh, look at how sweet this is." And then a smile starts to appear in his face, and he just pulls his hand back and goes, "Wallop!" Slaps her right across the face, and starts howling with laughter, like just unabashed. Thinks it's the funniest thing that he's ever done is to lure her into this false sense of like we're sweet and we're nice, and then
I
whack,
don't think she
smacks
probably
her
took
across
too
the
kindly
face
to that, right?
and laughs at it. No, no, she's not big on being smacked
So
across the
his
face. Believe it or
intentions were
not.
there. Execution was not great.
I mean, he's 1.5. I just think he
Oh, he was one and a
saw that it
half.
would be funny, and
Okay,
yeah, this
recent
wasn't
would be
recent,
really
and he
ballsy.
just,
Recent would be
and
really
that's why he
ballsy.
got away with it. Oh yeah, if he
I
was
kind of
6,
respect it
yeah,
if he
no,
did it when he was 6.
she would have.
No, I'm joking. I wouldn't.
No, no. Yeah, would you respect your 13-year-old if you
No, no,
smacked your
no,
wife? Like, I don't that like at a
no,
certain
no.
age, it's not like cute and
But
adorable.
that's still
It
kind of
kind of goes
funny that
away.
he kind of manipulated the situation in a joking manner, or what he thought was a joking manner.
Oh yeah, for sure. The younger one is also me and is obsessed with hair bands and 80s. He loves Twisted Sister. He likes Queen and likes to watch Freddie Mercury sing. And he has several guitars already that he puts on nightly concerts.
Stop.
And he'll
Really?
set up a microphone and he'll
Did you ever
strum.
film him?
I'm not kidding. Yeah. It used to
Is
several
can
full
he play
concerts
yet
filmed.
ish, or is he learning anything, or he's just strumming right now?
No. He has a little, yeah, he has a little like toy guitar that won't hold a tune, and he just
But
strums
you think
it
he has the
and,
music? He likes music, and you
sings.
think he
And
would want to pursue playing the guitar?
I mean, so far, right? Like in the 3 years that he's been alive, like it's been a solid like year of his life. He's not like wasn't a passing fancy. And like I try to play for him, and he doesn't want to hear it. No, Dad, no, Daddy,
Oh,
I don't want you to play. I want
so
to
he's a
play. So he
showman
wants
as
to play
well.
for
He's
me.
a showman.
Yeah, does not. He is. He loves to be the center of attention, and he's got the rock
Yeah.
and roll
So
inside him for
our
sure.
friends Paul and Michelle were in town, and they came over Friday night. So that was the other part I forgot to tell you about. He went and hung out with his high school friends, and then Michelle stayed over. But Paul stopped over for a second, and the girls were all shy at the beginning. And then Jane started putting on a show, started
Yeah,
trying on sassy shoes and doing this, and Frank's just 2.5, just giggling and laughing and doing whatever. Then all of a sudden they leave and they come back and they're butt naked from the waist down, and they're just shaking their ass in front of them.
yeah,
So like they like to ham it up in different ways. So yeah,
yeah. That's where did they
yeah,
get that from you?
I'm
You're
I'm a
definitely
showman. Yeah, for
definitely a
sure.
showman.
And Jane's a softie like
Yeah,
me, like, and she has a little bit of OCD
yeah,
tendencies as well. She has to do things a certain way. She cleans up after herself pretty well. And then Frank has I don't give a fuck attitude. She's just like Jane's getting almost potty trained. Is your youngest potty trained?
I see.
Probably happened because of his brother
Yes,
was,
yes.
going through it maybe when he was little. Might have missed it.
Yeah. The younger one definitely wants to do everything the older one does. So using the potty was a big deal. He doesn't wipe. I
Yeah.
mean, he will, but it's just not good. So
Yeah. So
I still have to give him
Jane's
the
pretty
wipes.
much through it. Did really great. And you think Frank would be like, because that's the time. And like, Frank was like, Frank, you
Yeah,
wanna hit up the
but no.
potty? No. No, I'm good. I'm like,
Honestly, I liked them better in diapers, right? They could just shit themselves
man,
and you just
I
leave them
am
right there.
so
Like it's
tired.
fine. Like
I am so over
it'll
diapers.
hold for 20 minutes.
So over.
Yeah, but then you gotta constantly ask, do you have to pee? Do you know how many times I have to pull over in the middle of traffic? I pulled over on the middle of 75 for my son to take a shit on the side of the highway. Just bare ass, just right there, squats. Or just driving through a neighborhood, I pull over the side of the road, pull my
I
son's
shit you
pants
not.
down so he can pee.
My wife bought a portable potty. It folds down for the
For
children. It folds
herself or for
down,
the children?
flat like an inch.
Okay.
And suctions out, and it locks into place. And it comes with like
That's not bad.
basically duty bags that you take your dog out, poop bags, whatever. You put it around the rim. So we had to pull
That's pretty
over.
good. I like
I'm
that.
31, so she could pee. She's got to pee every hour.
Yeah.
But at home, it's great because she could just go. She could do it herself. Fantastic. I'm tired of
Yeah.
diapers. I'm over them. Over 'em. And this,
I do. I miss the convenience of not
yes.
having to worry.
Well,
But
so
I understand.
I think
Dealing with
pull-ups,
diapers.
like we have them, we had them in case she don't want them, and I just kind of wonder.
What
No,
about at
she's not
night?
wearing them at night,
They wear them at night?
and
Shut the front door. Both my kids are still wearing these at night, and they are full to the
well, like
brim
so,
with piss when they wake
yeah,
up.
we've been doing this for 2 weeks solid, probably 3 weeks, and she wore pull-ups the first like week, and then she just wanted to wear underwear. She just loves the fact that she can wear undies now, and she has OCD, so
Oh,
she thinks
man.
she has to pee. She goes to the bathroom. We have this little thing that steps up, and it like sits on the toilet, has a nice little step up, and it folds down when you're not using it. She goes and does it herself and comes back. But she's
Yeah,
in those 3 weeks, she's probably peed the bed twice. Little ones, like an accident, and she's petrified. She's like,
sure.
that's not for me. Now the other one's gonna be
Oh,
a whole different
wow.
can of worms. But she is like
Wow.
she's done it all. I mean, pooping on the potty was a little tough for her. By the way, this is what dads with no
Okay.
friends talk
Yeah.
about, because it's really
This is all we have.
there's no
It's like,
book
how's the
on
shitting situation
on
going?
maybe there is, yeah, but there's
There's
really
probably
no
several
book.
books.
There's no
There's
one
probably
that knows
several
my
books, but
kid and knows what they want. You know what I mean? There's no
that's
possible
true.
explanation to what they're doing, why they're doing it. Yes, but
That's the variable.
been a rock star. And my
Yeah.
youngest never had a passy, never liked them, so that phase is gone. Diapers, when those are gone, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
That's
smooth
nice.
sailing until they're 12.
That's what you think. You're
Yeah, no,
probably
yeah.
horribly misinformed.
I've always joked
Yeah.
that I want
Yeah.
girls for the first half of adolescence, and then a boy from the second half on. because I'm gonna worry way more as a father
Yeah.
of girls when they're getting into middle school and going forward. Just I'm gonna worry more. No,
You don't worry about
I
them now.
do.
Like it's fine, whatever. Whatever
No,
happens to them
I mean,
as the cards may
of course
lay.
I do, but I think I worry less. They can't get into mischief or be around mischief because I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm.
I see.
You know,
I see. I just find as the years tick by, like the challenges just evolve. Like the changes just it go like when they're a baby, it's like, oh, am I getting enough sleep? Or like that's kind of the challenge is like get enough sleep to be a human and take care of this child. And now like they're sleeping fine, and I still have struggles of like, dealing with them and
are they
being
sleeping?
patient and,
Are they
trying to
sleeping
make
through
sure
the
they
night?
don't punch me in the face. They will. They're good about bedtime. I have a pretty
Nice.
okay system in place. We're
Same
very
here.
consistent about when they go to bed. But we had to buy the clocks that change color, so the clock will turn green and give the children the signal that it's okay to come out of their rooms. But getting them to obey that is a challenge because they will show up at 5 o'clock and be like, "Daddy, my clock's not green yet." I'm like, "I know. Go back to bed." And
That's
they're
kind
like,
of fun.
"No,
Does what
no."
do you have the hatch?
So
I have a hatch. It's like
what's
a
the hatch?
cylinder that gets kind of smaller. It's like yay big, and it plays background noise
Yeah.
of different variations, and it has different colors like that lights up the room, and you can separate the light
So
in
like
a
a,
sense.
a
But it's a
nightlight.
noise machine too, and it's a clock, and yeah.
Okay, they got the noise machine. Yeah, they do the white noise, which is key. I do the white noise as an adult. I can't
I
sleep
have
in
to
the
put it on sometimes when
awkward
we're
silence.
out like staying at a hotel or something. My wife has told us to put it on because we hear it through our baby monitor.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
match it.
Well,
That's the
and
key,
my
right?
old
You have the
sleep
same
apnea
noise.
machine
Yeah.
made an awful noise, so I since got a new one. So no complaining about me,
Okay.
which is always a plus. So that was the toughest part is
Yeah.
holding on and just trying to find
There you
sleep.
go.
I think you said that. It's I don't know if there's an hour I need anymore. I just take what I can get because I'm gonna be up by 6:30. We try to take turns over the weekend and have a sleep in, but like my clock can't do it
Yeah.
anymore. I just start thinking about what all I want to get accomplished that morning, and then a coffee sounds good, and then you're up wide awake. But you always back in the day, you always could sleep
Up and at
because
'em.
when we lived together, you were a good sleeper.
I used to sleep till
Can
noon
you
like it was nothing.
if your
I
wife
would
and I don't know what your
I would
arrangement
sleep.
is in the mornings or the weekends and stuff because obviously during
I
the
sleep on my back.
you do I
No,
can't sleep on my back. But do you guys take turns like when the boys are up? Do you sleep in? Because she can sleep
we
too,
do.
right?
Yeah.
Like she's a sleeper.
Yeah, she was also a really good sleeper. Our sleeping in is now like sleeping in on a weekend is
I'll take
8:30.
it.
That's the sleep in. Anything past, which is great. And honestly, it's enough. Like I can't really go past it. I think I stayed out till 1 o'clock at the latest. I think I've stayed out in maybe 2 to 3 years, and I slept till 9 the following day.
But you
So
feel like you have a
that
lot to
was
do,
me sleeping
like
in.
that you should be doing. You don't want to waste the day, right? Right.
Of course. No, 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 no. Yeah, I can't
So
just lay there.
I feel like I have
It's
issues
not
of
it's not
sleeping. I can, and you probably remember this. I can sleep like that. I can fall asleep on a dime. But once I
yeah.
keep my pattern keeps getting thrown off from the children waking you up. If there is a night that they don't wake up, I find myself waking. I still find myself waking up,
You still get up.
and now I'm waking up 15 minutes before my alarm goes off, which is infuriating.
Oh yeah,
I
I don't have
should
an
have
alarm.
one, but there's days that
Yeah,
I
I
do
don't I
sleep.
don't need it.
I have to get up before I get up at 6, and there's days that they'll sleep till 7 o'clock. They're rare, and if I don't have an alarm,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
everyone's gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
late. So but I'm always up like right before 6.
Yeah,
If a kid's not
yeah.
crawling in my bed, I'm usually gonna wake up anyway. So yeah, let me ask you this
Up and at
question
'em.
because I feel like maybe we had this question. I feel like we've talked about this years ago, years and years ago. And when I first
Okay.
ever heard this question, I
Yeah.
immediately thought of you because we like to dissect and we like to
Okay.
talk things through. I think we enjoy that about ourselves. So
Okay.
the question was, do you do or prefer, or you do sock shoe or sock shoe? And
Who puts
no
a
no
shoe
no
on
you
and
put
has a
you go
bare
you
foot? I feel
no no
I'm questioning the integrity of this question because I don't think anybody puts a
I didn't
shoe
say
on
that. Wait,
before
hold
the
on.
other
No,
sock.
no. You're either going sock on one foot and then sock on the other and then shoe again,
I'm
or
telling
do you do
you,
sock and shoe on the same foot and then go sock and shoe on the other foot?
Okay, first of all, I hate socks. I'm barefoot most of the time. I'm wearing shoes with no socks. Like,
Okay, the
honestly,
15%, stop. The
85% of the time.
15%. You know what I
Okay?
mean?
The 15%, I do it like the rest of everyone that you're going to ask this question to for the end of time. It is sock on one foot, sock on the other foot, shoe on one foot,
I
shoe on the other foot. No one is doing sock, shoe, sock, shoe. No one has a
it's
barefoot and a fully functioning, fully ready to go foot on the other
it
side.
is,
It
but
feels
like
too awkward. No one's
you're
doing that.
not taking breaks in between when you put your socks and your shoes on. At least I'm not. It's like a constant. You know what I mean? Like you're not just putting socks on and then not your shoes. Like the whole intent is
Listen, I am taking breaks. You know why? Because I'm old now, and like to hike my leg up to get it up
well
there in
that
my back, I gotta schlep this thing up here. I gotta put the sock on. I gotta moan and groan. I'm like, and then I put the shoes on because the shoes I'm never collecting the socks and the shoes and like putting them in a pile and being like,
well like
okay,
like
let's
when
get
you're
to
doing a normal
business.
day
Like, no,
of
no,
taking the
the
kids to
the
the
shoes are
sitters
by
or
the door.
school or going to work, like you're getting ready, you're doing socks and shoes, at the same time. So you probably already know this. I, for the most part, will go sock shoe, sock shoe, and
No,
that's fine. You
I
don't
don't
believe
believe
me,
you.
but you haven't given
Erroneous.
me.
So you're telling me you get your socks, and then you go to the door and you grab your
I sit down
shoes,
like
and then you go
so
sit down. You're like,
my
okay,
bedroom's
here we
upstairs. I
go.
put my socks. I put
And
my
and
socks in my
now
pocket.
you
Our bed
also
sits high, right? So it's not comfortable to sit on my bed and try to put my socks on, right? So I put my socks in my pocket. I go downstairs. I
okay,
grab my shoes,
okay.
and I make sure that they're in reach, and I have my right foot up like an old man. I put my sock on and throw my shoe on. And so I never really thought about it until I saw this question, and I'm like, I think I do it. I think I do it the not normal way because I'm trying to. It's a fat and lazy thing to do.
Yes.
Now old. It's
I'm not gonna
fine.
use those derogatory
You don't have
terms
to,
about fat
but
and
it's in the
lazy. I'm
morning.
not
Like,
gonna label it
yeah,
like that. I'm just saying every other rational human being would not put a shoe on while the other foot is bare. Why aren't you putting your socks on at
because
the same time?
because the
That's your like
foot
it's
is
like sock time.
the foot is,
You're
yeah, I know,
doing it
because the
by
foot is
foot.
already up there. The energy that was exerted to get it up there is sometimes not worth it when you're tired, hadn't had your coffee yet, you got to go to work, especially on Monday. So I thought I wasn't that much in the minority, but I apparently really am. And the only other people that do it like me
My I
are someone that is out of shape or trying to skip a step or whatever.
Have you ever met anyone else
Um,
that has said,
I want to
"Yes, I
say
do it
yeah.
that way"?
I want
Nope. Yes, you want to say to not be. You're not in the minority.
No,
You are the
there was
only
someone at
person that
work.
is
I
doing
asked the
this.
question. There
Let
was
me
only
tell you
one
what
other
the
person in
equivalent
my
is.
floor that agreed that did it.
That's a lie. What, a floor? What do you
My
want, a dorm? I don't
second
believe you.
second floor of my
Your
office. Yeah,
story's already muddled. Let me tell you this. This is the exact same thing as you telling me you put on one side of your underwear and then one side of your pants, and then another side of your underwear and another
no.
side of your pants.
Listen,
That's how
I
asinine this is.
I
No,
feel
you're doing it. You're doing
I feel like that
socks
comparison
all
to
at
underwear and
once.
pants is bullshit, and you should be ashamed. It's not.
It's
Listen,
bang
and
on.
maybe we
It's
won't
bang
agree on
on.
this. We
It's
might
gold.
not be able to agree on
It's
this.
gold, Jerry.
Maybe now
It
you're
is
putting doubt
just
that
as
I'm the crazy
asinine.
one.
I want you, right after you ask the sock and shoe thing, to the next person that you ask this, ask them if they put on, do you slide one leg through one hole of the underwear and then through the pants
I
and
think
then
you're
do
you.
the other side
I think you're.
too? That's how you're
No,
doing.
it's
That's how you're doing socks and shoes. You're doing it by
you're
foot.
you're sitting down
You
and you're
gotta do
getting
it
your
by
old beat
layer.
up knees, your legs up on your other leg. Where when you're putting on underwear and then your pants, like it's different. It's just different. Uh,
It's the same
I feel like
motion. It's the same exact motion. And also, just get shoes where you don't have to like sit down and like, are you wearing work boots? What are you doing? Just get some of your get loafers. You
well,
stick them
I mean
in
that's
there
what I have
right at the door. You
lately.
don't
Like
bend
when I had
down.
put on my gym shoes and we're going to like basketball practice, I'm for the most part doing sock shoe. And it wasn't like I thought about it. Now I think about it and I try to change it up sometimes so I'm not a weirdo. But sometimes, I'm a weirdo.
You're still a weirdo. Regardless of your socks and shoes, you're a weirdo. But the fact that you do it, it's weird. Like, maybe if you're wrapping an ankle like a boxer, or you need to like tape up your legs like you're in the NFL, like maybe you could do like, yo, I'm just gonna do this whole side. I'm just gonna knock out everything. I gotta do a sock, and then I gotta get the wrap around so my ankle doesn't break, and then I gotta put the shoe on, and then I gotta put the thing over the shoe, and then I'm gonna do the other one.
So you're saying like
Maybe,
I'm kind of like a professional
but
athlete?
normal human
Yeah.
beings, I'm saying 99 of people put their socks on, like not crazy people, and then their shoes, and it's
I
totally separate,
I wonder if there's a poll.
despite
Well, if
left,
I
right,
find a
left,
poll
right. I
online,
don't
will
know
you
what this
believe it or
nonsense
will you
is.
think it's doo doo?
Listen, there's a lot of people that will lie on the internet. I don't know if you're aware of this, but not everything you
Yeah,
see on
yeah,
there
that's
is
why I
true.
preface it with, would you enjoy any kind of numbers that I find on?
Listen, you even admitted to me yourself that it's weird and that you're in the quote unquote minority. If the minority is, I'm the only person that does this. This isn't even like the cereal and the milk thing, right? It's like, oh, who puts the milk in before the cereal? Like, that's fine. I don't,
So I
like, what's the
type in
difference there?
sock, shoe, and the next,
Yeah.
there's a list or whatever. A couple of them are sociopath and psychopath afterwards.
Did it say no one puts on the sock shoe, then
Two
another
people
sock, then another
put.
shoe?
See what's
You're touching the dirty shoe and then you're going to touch the clean sock. There's so many ways that this is wrong.
is what it says. Man, I am really fucked up. I'm really fucked up.
And that is full of people lying to bend the survey and say, oh, no, I do that. That's crazy. Just for the goof answer. That's the Bodie McBoatface of socks and shoe etiquette.
No,
Do you know what Bodie McBoatface is? They held a contest to name some boat. I think it was England. Like, hey, we made this boat and we're going to like let people name it. So they let everyone vote and they all voted. And the top vote was Bodie McBoatface because the
that was
internet.
that's the right call.
So
That was the right call for that boat.
listen, I appreciate the name, and I get it. I get it that if you give power, to a democratized internet of people, you'll get wacky answers. And I'm saying that contingent, the Bodie McBoatface contingent, is the 6% that said they do
Yeah.
sock shoe because they think it's funny.
So what I've
No one's doing
realized,
sock
and
shoe.
I kind of known it, but it's really hitting home because I realized that I do have several problems, and this is very therapeutic. And one of them, I have weird tendencies. My OCD stuff, it's showing through because I have another thing that will just
Okay.
shock you. And I told my wife, and the only person I've ever told, and she laughed and laughed and made fun of me, and then laughed again and made fun of me again. But I feel like we got to
Well,
we got to
are you
say
gonna share?
because it's getting late.
Okay, so now
Yeah,
we're
why
gonna we're
not?
gonna say you're teasing it. So this is another. Okay, first of all, were you
No,
diagnosed by a doctor of having OCD? Because people with OCD could be
that
offended that
is.
you're just saying you have OCD. Do you
I've
really have
I have
OCD, or you
tendencies.
just have
I'm
tendencies?
self-diagnosed with
Okay,
similar habits.
okay, that's fine. We can shorthand it, right? And it's not a
I'm.
bad thing.
Do you remember
So
the
I just want
show?
to be clear.
Was it yes?
Full House.
R.I.P. Danny Tanner. Monk, right?
Yes, I
Same,
think I may
same,
have seen a
same.
couple of
Uh,
episodes.
Super awkward, but a
Right, but
little
that
less,
person.
right?
Yeah, I get it. You have tendencies, right?
I'm
There's
particular.
things that you feel compelled to
I think
do.
for
Yeah, you
10
have a
years at
particular way.
Subway, ate the same sandwich every time I went there. Cold cut trio, and it's like, hey, no, but it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's more normal than you
it's like,
think. That's just like habit. That's just a habit of like, oh, this is what I order when I go to this restaurant. I think most people order the
but venture
same thing
out,
at the
like,
same restaurant all the
good
time.
lord.
I think it's gross that
No, I
you
mean it
ordered
wasn't. I'm
Subway
not
for
Jared
8
the Subway
years, but
guy,
that's
thank
another
God. But
story.
like, it wasn't.
Let's not bring up him. Let's not bring up that kid toucher, that sandwich eating child toucher. He really
I've
upsets
met
me.
him. I've met him, and he is. Well, no, I mean,
You're
I
not
did
doing
radio
yourself any
years ago. And
favors
we
here.
interviewed him. Like, it wasn't like we're like aces. Like, met him twice, talked to him twice. That's it.
Listen, since you teased the OCD thing, let me ask you something
Got
that we can get to right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you used to work in radio, you used to always tell me, I don't like getting up at these weird hours. I just want a regular job. And I thought to myself, what a load of shit. Like, why does he want to have a job like everybody else? He gets to get up and like try to make people laugh on the radio. Looking back now, do you see how that was silly? Do you see how mistaken you were for not
Parts of it,
liking that
parts
fun
of it. But
job that you
I
had?
enjoyed the evening, right?
Okay.
And getting up at 4 in the morning every day was really not fun.
I guarantee you that. That's a tough
Yeah, and
hour.
it
The
just,
hours were tough, for
I
sure,
like
for
to
sure.
have some beverages with friends and hang out, and you're like, it's 9 o'clock, gotta go, and you're not getting 7 hours if you're going home at 9. You know what I mean? You're getting 6 if you're lucky.
I mean, which is weird because that's kind of like what your life is now. Now you almost have to
I
get up
should
that
probably
early
get
and go to
back into
bed
morning radio,
that
is
soon.
what you're saying. Like, I'm already up,
Maybe
No, it
you're
was
the,
just,
you might as
it
well.
was a drag. It really was. It was sad and lonely.
So you're saying more of a drag than just every other common 9 to 5
There was just a
thing that
lot of
we're doing today.
unknowns in radio. I never felt stable. I felt like anything. Yeah, yeah.
You feel
Like
stable now
no, I mean
in this economy?
the job wise, I feel more stable because radio. We moved down to Atlanta and got fired after 14
Yeah,
months, and they were like trying to get us buy houses and get our license plates changed in that first like 2 or 3 months. They didn't like think we what to
yeah,
get
that's
all
pretty
that
normal.
changed in 2 or 3 months.
I think by the law
It was
you have
more
like 60 days or 30
sure,
days to
but it was
change
more
your
about the
license plate.
house that was like, wait, I don't need to buy a house. Like, can I rent? Like, see how things lay. It was just odd, and
I
maybe
mean,
it's one
yeah.
of the things that make me odd too. But I didn't feel like changing my
Okay.
license plate. Don't you have a year? And I ended up changing it, but I think you have a year. I ended up getting a Georgia's license. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
You acting like
What am I, a
I
cop? I
got a
don't
I
know.
got a Georgia's driver's license, so like I bought in, but they just it was so
Okay.
volatile, and I wasn't crazy about that. I mean, yes, I miss the
Yeah.
entertaining aspect, and
Okay.
that was fun.
Yeah.
But like
Okay.
I didn't
Now I
see like
know.
the long term thing with that. Like, how can you guys settle down and have a family and work those hours? That's just me overanalyzing everything.
I know. I know. Because everyone on the radio is
Well,
definitely single. Like, there's no
no.
one on the radio that has children.
Well,
They don't let you on the
smart
radio
ass.
if you have children.
I think it's just easier if those things aren't happening at the same time.
I think everything is easier if
Everyone,
you don't have kids.
not everyone, but
Every
everyone.
single thing.
A lot of people I
Except
know.
going to Chuck E. Cheese. Going to Chuck E. Cheese is actually harder if you don't
Yes,
have
but
kids. You get a lot of weird looks.
a lot of
With
people in
kids,
radio are divorced and possibly multiple times. I didn't like that. And I also didn't like how I was becoming when I was on the air too. I
okay.
was kind of being an asshole. An ass.
Oh, what were you
But now I
becoming?
look back and I'm
Oh,
kind of glad because I'm an
ah,
asshole now and I kind of enjoy it. Because get off my lawn.
oh, okay. You're afraid of becoming an asshole, so you quit, and then you
Yes.
became an
Yeah.
asshole and you're happy about it. Okay. So wait, set up the tease for I want to hear
Oh man,
for the next time
I'm
we
so.
record. You got to give me a little bit, like categorically, because the sock shoe thing was so much for me. Like I feel like
I
we could
know,
have spent a
and
whole hour just
I never
dissecting
said it
why
was
you think
normal.
that's
It's just
normal.
something I like was a habit I did and didn't realize that I was doing it like that. Right? I didn't realize why or how
Yeah.
and that it was weird. I just did until I heard the question. I'm like,
Okay.
well, clearly you're saving time if you go sock shoe sock shoe. Thought I was like
Yeah.
right, and apparently I'm the odd one out here. You can guess.
Can
There's
I guess what
zero
it is?
chance you're
Let me guess. You brush one tooth and then floss and then brush the next
gonna.
tooth and then floss and brush the next tooth and everyone else just brushes their teeth
I
and
feel
then
like you
maybe
should go.
flosses because let's be honest, like so few people. I think the same six
I think
people actually are the ones
you
that are
floss
flossing.
first.
Same six.
No, I do that with the water pick.
You floss
Water
first?
pick and
No.
then brush your teeth. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, fancy. Well,
Um,
well, Mr. Technology. You're
it's
living in year three. Then.
man, this is tough because I didn't think. No, I won't. But I
No,
don't think I
don't
was
tell
gonna go
me.
down
Don't
this
tell me.
road so early about my weirdness, and I don't know if people can handle it because my wife couldn't.
Okay.
But it's something public restroom related. So
Okay.
it's
I think
and
I know
when
what it is, and I'm not going to say.
that's
Public restrooms are gross, so I think a lot more people are going to be in your
wow,
corner
that's not the vibe I
for the
got from
public restroom
That's not the
thing
vibe I got from my
than the
wife.
socks and shoe thing.
And maybe she doesn't. Well, because she laughed and made
Oh,
fun of me
really?
for like she can't believe it. No,
For the
she's already
socks
done
and
that.
shoe
She's
thing.
already done. This was, I think, worse. I think she thinks this is weirder. If I'd
Uh,
asked her, and I'll ask her. I'll do my
okay.
homework and ask her. And you need to find out about
Yeah, okay. I will find out if My Chemical Romance is married to his lovely, lovely
Can I give him a name?
girlfriend. Is he married or not?
Sounds like a
Please.
Trevor.
You know what? I don't think you're that far off.
Tristan.
I will extend. I will extend my goal of homework, and I will get a name
Yeah.
for you, or at
I
least a
don't need to
first
like
name.
Facebook stalk him unless I
Um,
do.
I don't
I
think
mean,
Trevor's that far off. Like, I don't think you're that far
it's a
off. I think you're
very
probably in the
hipster name.
wheelhouse.
Ooh, I
Maybe
like
a
it.
Trent. I don't know.
Skylar.
Yeah. Okay.
Eh,
Skylar. It's not
it
a
could be
guy. That's
both.
a girl's name, isn't it? I guess it's both. Yeah.
All right, dude. Well,
Skylar. He wasn't. He wasn't 15.
that's what's
So.
weird. I can't wait to hear that story too. So, well, thank you for the first podcast of Dads Without Friends. Looking forward to the next one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Go find
probably not. I'm
yourself
gonna
some
go right to
friends.
bed
Yeah. All
because
right.
that's all I enjoy when I can. All right, dude.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, thanks.
All
See ya.
right. Thank you.